I wish he could have been able to see how this season finished and plays out. But yeah, we're definitely trying to take it all the way for him this year.
That was Orioles all-star and outfielder Austin Hayes on the life and the legacy of Brooks Robinson, the impact he has today on these current Orioles. Hey everyone, welcome to Sports Unlimited. I'm Morgan Adsit live at Camden Yards, where right behind me, a very powerful scene just behind the outfield in Legends Park with the Hall of Fame statues. Fans are pouring in to pay their respects for Mr. Oriole, Brooks Robinson, who passed away yesterday at 86. The Orioles with those touching tributes for Brooks Robinson all around the ballpark today. The warehouse has a number 5 on it. The retired number in the outfield for his numbers in the Hall of Famers has a black ribbon on it. As Austin Hayes said, the rest of the season is for Brooksy, and it starts with a big one for the O's today. It's clinch watch. We know the Orioles have a postseason spot already on lock, but their eyes are on a bigger prize, the American League East and AL top seed. It could happen tonight, but they also need help. The Orioles need a win tonight over the Nationals, and the O's need the Rays to lose at Boston. We could know if tonight's the night by 9:30 potentially tonight, and the O's, they're ready for it.
These games are meaningful. There's stuff on the line for not just us, the fans, the city, everything that comes with it. Just seeing just how amazing this season has been with all the support that we've gotten. So you're just playing for so much more.
And they're playing for Brooks tonight, that's for sure, and the rest of the season, as Hayes mentioned. The O's game just after 6:30. The Rays, Red Sox get underway just after 6. So again, O's need to win. They need the Rays to lose. Combine that, that's 2 off the magic number, and the Orioles would have their first American League East title in 9 years. They also got good news with the lineup. Ryan Mountcastle is off the injured list with that shoulder injury. He is available off the bench tonight. Reporting live at Camden Yards, I'm Morgan Adsit for Sports Unlimited.
And coming up on Fox 45 News at 6 o'clock, a manhunt is underway for the man police say killed a young tech CEO in Baltimore. We'll have team coverage on this case. And 7 GOP presidential candidates take the stage for a second Republican presidential debate. Scott Thuman joins us live for a preview of tonight's debate.
The manhunt continues for the man accused of murdering a young and rising Baltimore tech CEO. What we're learning tonight about that suspect and a troubling trend in Baltimore of innocent people becoming victims of violent crime. A look into how these tragedies occur. And later, the second Republican presidential debate happening tonight. Chief political correspondent Scott Thuman will join us live for a look at what to expect.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, This is Fox 45 News at 6.
A manhunt is underway in Baltimore right now for 32-year-old Jason Billingsley. He is accused of murdering 26-year-old Pava LaPere. LaPere was found beaten to death in her apartment building on Sunday. She was the founder and CEO of the tech company EcoMap. And tonight, Fox 45 News has learned Billingsley is now tied to an arson, attempted murder, and rape in West Baltimore. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for staying with us tonight. We have team coverage of all the angles of this developing story. We begin with Alexa Ashwell and the new details we're learning about Billingsley and his criminal past as this urgent manhunt goes on.
Investigators now offering the $6,000 reward for information that will lead agents to the whereabouts of Jason Billingsley. Baltimore police also now confirming what sources told me earlier, that Billingsley is connected to an attempted murder, rape, and arson investigation that occurred before Pava LaPere's murder, leaving even more questions. The manhunt for convicted felon Jason Billingsley, accused of murdering Baltimore tech CEO Pava LaPere, intensifying. Overnight, federal, state, and local police scouring several locations, including neighborhoods in greater Baltimore. Agents now broadening their search as sources confirm Billingsley is believed to be connected to other violent and recent crimes and has a total of at least 3 warrants for his arrest: LaPere's murder, a gun theft, and a rape arson investigation.
This individual will kill and he will rape.
During yesterday's press conference, acting Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley was questioned if Billingsley is connected to other cases, specifically an incident on Edmondson Avenue in West Baltimore.
We're still looking into that case, but he is a suspect in at least one other case.
That initial report listed as an arson investigation, but sources confirming more alarming details and Billingsley the believed suspect. According to police, on September 19th, about a week before LaPere's murder, officers responded to reports of a house fire here on Edmondson Avenue. Inside, they found a man and a woman with critical injuries. Sources confirmed the woman reported she had been attacked and raped by a man before he cut their throats and set fire to the home. Miraculously, both victims survived. Neighbors say they heard about the reported rape by word of mouth.
People that we know, we would hear them talk about it, or people in the area, we would hear them talk about it. But us personally, we don't know nothing much about it. But I can say that I'm very appalled.
Also appalling to many, including Mayor Brandon Scott, the fact that Billingsley was out on the streets given his criminal past.
There is no way in hell that he should have been on the street.
Newly obtained court documents providing further insight. In 2009, when Billingsley was 18 years old, he was arrested for assaulting and stealing money from a man. The majority of his 5-year sentence was suspended, and Billingsley received 2 years probation. Court records show he violated that probation in 2011 by committing another assault, this one on a former girlfriend. Billingsley was sentenced to 2 years, a judge allowing him to serve this time concurrently, meaning with his sentence for the probation violation. Then in 2013, Billingsley arrested again, this time for a first-degree sex offense. Court records show he forced a woman to perform oral sex after the two met and strangled and threatened her throughout the incident. A judge sentenced Billingsley to 30 years in prison, suspending all but 14 of those years and ordering the felon serve 5 years probation, submit his DNA, and register as a sex offender upon his release. That release happening 5 years early in October 2022. A reported rape and LaPere's murder happening less than a year later. We're asking Baltimore police the following questions. When was the warrant issued for Jason Billingsley's arrest for the attempted murder, rape, and arson? Why wasn't the public notified of this rape before now? And why did BPD opt to not release Billingsley's picture following the reported rape? We're still waiting to hear back. Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
Alexa, thank you. The LaPere family released a lengthy statement remembering Pava today. It says in part, we have lost a deeply loved daughter, sister, and friend who could understand all of us in a way that no other human being could. The statement goes on to say, we remain in complete shock and can barely comprehend Pava's death. It will be in life's quiet moments after the dust settles that the full reality of this tragedy will resonate. You can find the full statement on our website, foxbaltimore.com. Well, a vigil is taking place tonight to remember Pava. Keith Daniels is live in Mount Vernon as the gathering is just getting underway. Keith?
Well, Mary, she's been described as a kind, talented, young businesswoman, and many of the people gathering here at this hour at the Washington Monument here in Mount Vernon are calling, or rather celebrating, her life with a vigil in her memory. Now, police found LaPere's body at her apartment building on West Franklin Street Monday with signs of blunt force trauma. The cause of her death not yet released by the medical examiner's office. Now, the search is on for the suspected killer, Jason Billingsley. Investigators have not said how they identified him as a suspect in her death. Meantime, it's LaPere's life friends want to remember, calling her death truly disturbing. Again, the vigil getting underway here now. They have their plants, or rather their flowers, her picture, and a podium, and friends and loved ones gathered waiting to speak. We're live now in Mount Vernon. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Keith, thank you. Well, Baltimore, no stranger to cases where bystanders, people just living their lives, end up becoming victims of violent crime. Fox 45's Amy Simpson is examining how often these tragedies occur.
All too often, people living in this city just going about their lives, finding themselves victims of violence. November 2021, 69-year-old Evelyn Player murdered inside an East Baltimore church. Her killer, a repeat violent offender. January 2022, 51-year-old Cheryl McCormick shot and killed while delivering food in Northeast Baltimore. That same month, a Little Italy restaurant manager, Chesley Patterson, gunned down in Fells Point. Then April 2023, 23-year-old Fabian Gonzalez shot and killed after an armed robbery at Canton's T-Mobile store. And this week, 26-year-old Pava LaPere, a young CEO named to Forbes 30 Under 30, found dead at her apartment building in the city's Bromo Arts District. All 5 victims likely strangers to one another, yet linked in tragedy. All of them seemingly innocent, random victims of violent crime in Baltimore.
I want people to ponder, when are you going to get tired of this? When are you going to get tired of this?
Sergeant Betsy Smith is the spokeswoman for the National Police Association.
This young woman was murdered by a man who should have been in prison, and now he's on the run.
Smith drawing parallels between violence in Baltimore and her hometown of Chicago.
Say 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, there were certain neighborhoods that people would avoid because that's where most of the crime was. Now it's everywhere. It's affecting everyone, and people are paying attention.
This week's brutal and brazen homicide of a young female entrepreneur, thrusting Baltimore into the national headlines.
It's a city that I always love to visit. It's historic. It's picturesque. But now nationally, what are people hearing about Baltimore, Maryland? That it's a violent city that cannot seem to get a handle on its murder problem, on its violent crime problem.
Smith questioning why Pava LaPere's suspected killer, 32-year-old Jason Billingsley, was ever released from custody.
Our politicians talk a lot about women's health and women's safety. And this man was a convicted sex offender who was allowed to roam free to further victimize innocent women. We have got to stop letting that happen.
And speaking with Sergeant Smith today, she pointed out another example of a seemingly unprovoked killing. It was December 2021 when Baltimore police officer Kiana Holly was shot in an ambush-style attack in her patrol car in Curtis Bay. Officer Holly died a week later. In Baltimore, Amy Simpson, Fox 45 News.
Donald Trump continues to skip debates, including tonight's, but still has a huge lead over his Republican contenders. What does it mean, and what do they have to do next? I'm Scott Thuman with a debate preview coming up.
And if you're going out to the O's game this evening to watch the O's clinch, hopefully, the AL East, 66 first pitch at 6:35, dropping into the low to mid 60s through the game. Hopefully a big O's win as well there. I'm going to let you know when rain and clouds may quickly become back in my Weather Authority forecast.
It is debate day for Republicans in the race for the White House. And again, there will be a pretty noticeable absence. Former President Donald Trump has decided not to take part tonight. What does that mean for Republicans hoping to become the party's nominee? Sinclair's chief political correspondent, Scott Thuman, joins us live to show us. Scott.
Good evening, Mary. You know, there is always so much anticipation surrounding these debates. They always draw so much attention, and that clearly has been dampened by the fact that Donald Trump is not taking part again, choosing to opt out of appearing. Instead, he'll be in Michigan courting voters there. And that means it is up to the 7 candidates who did qualify to take the stage tonight to take advantage of that. For the Republican Party, another debate, another no-show by Donald Trump, the clear frontrunner, making it known he can dominate the competition without facing them in person, leaving the 7 who made it on stage and others in the wings wondering what else they can do. In early states, Trump is up 30 points in Iowa and 37 in New Hampshire, and 58% of GOP voters in both states say Trump could definitely beat Biden.
We're leading by a lot against probably the worst president, definitely the worst president, I'd say.
So are the debates now less significant?
No, I think the debates are an important time for us as a Republican Party to share that contrasting vision for America, to share the ideas that we have, the policies that we believe in as Republicans. If he decides to come to future debates, that would be wonderful.
In the meantime, the economy expected to be a major theme, and candidates usually at odds will have plenty in common, bashing Bidenomics and America's finances under the current president. Consumer confidence dropping to a 4-month low in September as groceries and gas prices continue to hurt. Yet none of those who are debating seeming to find the bounce they need. Republicans' runner-up, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, has seen his numbers drop. Virginia's Governor Glenn Youngkin. So a breakout performance tonight, critical.
It's, I think, in my opinion, less about speaking time and more about speaking substance. Debates, they're important, but they're a moment in time. They don't define a campaign. It's important to be able to be built for the long haul.
In the meantime, another sign that Donald Trump is still the main draw for Republicans and viewers. Fox has reportedly cut the advertising cost to run a commercial during the debate to just over half of what they were charging last month during the first debate. Mary?
And Scott, how long do you think this no debate strategy is going to last for Donald Trump?
Well, as long as he wants it to, and right now he's looking at those same numbers we just showed you, and with that really massive lead, he doesn't feel a need to get up there and really kind of be the subject of a firing squad from all of his Republican opponents. So if the numbers trend in his direction, I imagine he'll stay out until he has some desire to do otherwise. But he's also looking at what's happening with President Biden, saying he's not out there offering to debate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or Marianne Williamson, so why should I be doing it?
That's true. Maybe we'll see it in the general then. All right, Scott Thuman live from D.C. for us tonight. Thank you.
You got it.
The Fox Triple Cast this evening showing us some beautiful sunshine over Camden Yards on the Toyota Asian Harbor Skycam. Got a game going on there in about 20 minutes. And down on the lower portion of your screen, that's the Towson Cam. I want Towson Cam looking bathed in sun. HD radar, though, does show our next weather maker approaching. There's one to the south. That's the remnants of Ophelia. That's pulled far enough south to give us a dry and pleasant evening. But the one out to the west, yes, that's going to be moving in, giving us clouds increasing overnight. That next weather maker's on the way for tomorrow with clouds and maybe a shower in the afternoon. Better risk of some showers on Friday and maybe even a shower on Saturday before huge weekend improvement ensues. So there's the leftovers of Ophelia still kind of lurking off the coast. And then there's this system with the showers and thunderstorms, Knoxville up to Indianapolis. That moving east out of the Ohio Valley, and it could give us a risk of some scattered showers by later tomorrow, but especially some clouds, I think, late tonight and tomorrow. Not going to be the beautiful afternoon that we saw today. Lots of sun right now. Nice change. 66. Winds out of the east at 10. Did make it to 69 this afternoon, which is still low, about 7 degrees below average. Humidity at 59%. Nice dry dew point. Beautiful, again, look here of the stadium in the background on the Toyota Asian Harbor Skycam. If you're going out to those games, you'll need a light jacket and some sunglasses through sunset. Temperatures pretty much area-wide in the 60s, except 170 coming in at Frederick. We did have some 70s north and west of the city today, and everybody's running about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago with that sunshine and the dreary conditions leaving down to the south. But there's that next system out to our west. Rain eventually followed by some drier and warmer weather end of the weekend into early next week. Out in the tropics, Felipe, it looks like that is going to be a tropical storm for the next couple of days before diminishing into a tropical depression around Puerto Rico. And there's also a high chance of development that's out in the central Atlantic, but that probably is going to end up out toward the fish. But there are a couple of computer models that kind of edge out to the west for a while. So we are going to have to watch that. It's still many, many days away from any land. So future scan overnight into early tomorrow morning. Looks like, again, the clouds gradually increase. There could be a few spot showers for tomorrow afternoon. So we're going to have to watch for those as well. Should be fairly light. Temperatures a little bit cooler than today. And then for Friday, some on and off scattered showers as well. I've got your exclusive 10-day forecast coming up. I'll let you know how warm things are going to get by next week in a couple of minutes.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Severe thunderstorms are dangerous, but they can help produce great photographs, starting in central Missouri, where the lightning is visible coming from these impressive storm clouds. The same system also produced a funnel cloud as well as hail in Callaway County. And north of El Paso, Texas, the lightning was very pronounced during a storm in the Franklin Mountains.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Amazon sued by the FTC and 17 states over allegations it inflates online prices. The challenges the Justice Department could face in winning this landmark case. Yesterday, U.S. regulators and 17 states sued Amazon over allegations that the company used its position in the marketplace to inflate prices on and off its platform. The National Desk's Dee Gatton has a breakdown of both sides of this landmark case.
As we know, this platform is used by families nationwide. The case reflects years of allegations that Amazon abused its economic dominance and harmed fair competition.
Pharmacist and business owner Dr. Michael Oladegwe.
We know our customers by name. We know their history, so we can adapt to them.
Has been in business for nearly a decade. As Amazon expands to other areas, including pharmacy, he's focused on what he does best.
We become a resource for our patients. They come to us to confirm whether what they see online is authentic or not.
Now, Amazon's business practices are being challenged in a new lawsuit. The Federal Trade Commission and 17 state attorneys general sue Amazon over allegations the online retailer is illegally maintaining monopoly power. The lawsuit says Amazon buries listings offered at lower prices on other sites and charges sellers high fees.
The biggest challenge is for the Justice Department to somehow convince the judge that by advertising and by doing other things that sort of keep other people out, that they're somehow acting like a monopoly.
Legal expert Dr. Mark Clausen anticipates what he thinks will be the argument on the other side, saying other businesses have practices like this as well.
There are stores that are harmed because of some competitor somewhere or in the same town as you are and doing the same thing as you are. They're just doing it better.
In a statement, Amazon responds to the FTC's complaint, saying in part Amazon's practices have helped spur competition and innovation across the retail industry, resulting in lower prices and faster delivery. If the FTC gets its way, the general counsel of Amazon said the result would be fewer products to choose from, higher prices, and slower deliveries.
All right, your exclusive 10-day forecast for tomorrow. We're at 68. Could see a PM shower or two. There's going to be some more clouds, too. Scattered showers on Friday.